a former Marine, a member of multiple gun rights organizations, including CCDL, and I'll let him tell his story. Help me welcome Luis Cadena.
All right, first let me make a couple announcements before I begin my speech. First off, I'm not here to cut the grass, so stop asking. Secondly, I would like to thank my dear friend Mike Sweats over there, and there's two other people that couldn't make it today. It's Jessica and Zachary Smith. They helped me launch a BAMSIS this week, which is a super PAC to protect the Second Amendment rights of all citizens of America. You all might be wondering just a bit, who is this extremely handsome, slightly overweight, Hispanic-looking man who was before us? And what of this struggle of the right to bear arms does he know? And what is it he has to say? Well, I go by the name of Angel, and I have lived through both extremes of the argument on gun control. You see, I was born and raised in the liberal Mecca known colloquially as Chi-Town. I know many of you may be thinking, how nice. Here's a young, handsome man, slightly overweight, and single. Trying to tell us how things will be if we keep going down that slippery slope of gun control. And yes, I am going to tell you. I feel that I was placed amongst all you today to tell you right now that this is not the slide the great state of Connecticut wants to go down. From my own experiences, I know that it is a miracle of God that I have survived the lopsided battlefield of the mean streets of Chicago. As a young child, I was a bit of a local celebrity from appearing on the news, in the background, while beat reporters are scrambling for a story about death which had taken place just moments ago and feet away. I have on several of those occasions been the first person to see the death and carnage, only to have to turn and walk away. All of this took place before the age of 8. After that, for no reason at all, I was in the sights of flying lead on numerous occasions. I've had some close calls, missing strands of hair on my head, and an ass puckered so tight, it's a miracle that I can even use a bathroom these days. One night, my dear father was not so lucky. We were walking home from a nearby bus stop. He had just taken my sister, her friend, and myself to see the first Jurassic Park movie. Oh, what a treat it was. Movies came few and far between back then. Well, on our way back, my sister and her friend ran ahead to get home and spread the news of dinosaurs eating people and whatever else was going through their teenage heads. So there we were, my father and I, at the relatively safe intersection of 56th and Mozart. And then it began. That slow feeling you get when adrenaline rushes through you. My body knew what was happening before I even realized that we were in the middle of gang crossfire. Bullets skinned the top of my head, hence the strands of hair lost, and that immediate pucker I spoke of before. And then it happened. My father stumbled and I rushed to keep him on his feet. His next words were, "I've been shot and for me to run." I immediately took 2 leaps forward, but something stopped me, told me that this is not the way I wanted to remember the last moments of my father's life. As I gathered him up, I said, let's turn to this first walkway. Ironically, these walkways between the houses are known as gangways. Go figure. So anyways, we reached the locked gate. Fine, we'll just have to climb over, but not so fast. The biggest, ugliest, meanest looking dog appeared and was barking rapidly. So we turned to go back the way we came, and the next thing I knew, we were trapped between the gated dog and 2 punk teenagers on bikes with guns pointed right at our heads. On any other day in a fair fight, I could have taken them both, but at this very moment, they had us dead to right. I can honestly say that I was not scared and I was ready to die. But then at that very moment, my father did something I will forever remember. He bravely placed himself between me and the gangbangers, and without a shred of fear in his voice, he calmly said, we were just walking from the bus stop, I was shot, but I didn't see anything. Telling them apparently what they wanted to hear, they pocketed their guns, turned the bikes around and rode away, and left me with a ruined rest of the summer waiting on my father hand and foot. But I am forever grateful for the bravery my father shown that day. I had used that lesson throughout my life, both as a United States Marine in service to my country, and now as a father myself. But as statistics of violent crime in places like gun-controlled Chicago and the gun-free zones where horrific acts of crime have happened shown, not everyone has that opportunity or ability to persuade a shooter with words. In Newtown, the very same act of bravery was used by heroes, but it was not enough because not every criminal is responsive to just words. That is why Americans have the right to follow up our pleas with that of a bang. It is no mistake that the right to bear arms follows our right to free speech. So, I stand before you to use my right of expression to show my gratitude to all of you who have shown that same bravery today. Because it is the brave in our country that has and will stand up against the illegal assault on all our rights. Because the infringement of one right is the infringement of all rights. Rights that millions have sacrificed life and limb for. It is those rights that have allowed the pacifists from the founding of our nation to the gun grabbers of modern day to benefit from the opportunities in this great country. Opportunities born from the sacrifice of others. Let's just make sure that when it comes time to vote, we let our fine governor and his outstanding legislators know that we are responsive and responsible when it comes to our individual rights. God bless Connecticut. God bless the United States of America. Until we meet again.